Good morning from Hampi, India. This is, I don't even know how to describe it. Take a look around. It's kind of looks like land before time, or what I would imagine. It's beautiful boulders, incredible rice fields, and there's ancient temples everywhere. It's quite something. So I found a beautiful spot to do some yoga today, and I'm so happy to get to show you this room with a view. So thank you so much for joining us at Om Yoga Tribe, and let's unroll our mats. Go ahead and find a seat on your knees. Close your eyes down. You can take the palms and place them on the thighs, or you can turn palms up. Just begin to settle in and start to come from your whirling, thinking mind into the feeling body. Deepening your breath, becoming aware of the inhales and the exhales. We'll work on opening the heart space today and some back bends. Think of spreading the collarbone so you're wider from shoulder to shoulder. This area holds a lot of tension, as well as where we can hold shame, where we can close down when we're not feeling open. Sometimes, for me anyway, sometimes I feel like there can be a wall between me and whatever is happening. And often that comes along with this physical closing off. So when we open, there's a lot of vulnerability that comes along with that, a lot of, building of trust. So we begin to work on that on the mat. Everything's a metaphor. So as we open that space, we begin to be able to bring more of what we desire to us, whatever that may be. And you can physically feel a difference in just the way you're sitting, just in the posture. Bring shoulders up and back, heart space open. Let the crown of the head lift up as the tail drops down. And notice just the energetic shift in the posture. What it's like to move through the world with this gesture of empowerment and openness, as opposed to shoulders hunched and back, almost as if we're hiding. Notice how the breath is so much fuller. You're able to expand more on the inhales here. Just kind of mark this in your mind, in your body. We'll begin to move through our practice. Bring the hands to heart center and just set an intention of expansion. And moving, what it would be like to move through the world with an open heart, ready to give, ready to receive. And plant the hands on the knees. Begin to drag the hands back towards the knees as the heart comes forward, gaze up. Feel the spreading of the collarbone. And then exhale, push the knees away, round the back, drop the chin towards the chest. Closing down. Inhale, pull forward. Gaze up. Exhale, round. Chin to chest. Once more, inhale, come forward, bring heart forward. And exhale, round the back. Plant the right hand a couple of feet outside the hip. We'll take the left foot out towards the side. Inhale, left arm comes up and over, reaching towards the right side. Really pressing down into that right hand. Reaching, big side body stretch here. Begin to push the hips forward as the head, the heart, and the hand come back. Big opening here. Take some big arm circles. So 3 all the way around. Maybe whenever you're coming down, cactus the arms. Inhale, up and around. Open heart. Cactus the arms. Peel it away. Once more. Inhale. Open. Bend the arm. And let's sit back on the heels. Inhale, hands on the knees, heart forward, draw the chest through. Exhale, round the back. And let's plant the left hand. Same thing on the other side. Stretch the right leg out. Inhale, up and over with the right arm. Big side body stretch here, really pushing the ground away. So pushing through the knee, pushing through the left hand. And then send the hips forward, the head, heart, hand come back. Big opening here, and then 3 arm circles. You can cactus the arm as it comes down. Inhale, windmill around. Peel the heart open. Once more. And come back to a seat. Hands on the knees. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, hands behind the back, clasp. Roll the shoulders down and back. Fists come down towards the ground as you gaze up. Heart fully open here. Have a slight micro bend in the elbows as you drag the hands away from each other. This brings the scapula closer together. And then see what it feels like to bring the ribs in here. It creates quite an arch normally, so bring the ribs in just a little bit. Expand the chest even more. Feel the difference there. One more inhale. Exhale, release the hands, hands to heart center. 1. Big drink of breath in. And sigh it out. We'll meet in tabletop. So a couple cat-cow here. So essentially the same thing we were doing seated. We'll drop the belly, drop the chest, pull the chest through, gaze up. Exhale, push ground away, tuck the chin. Again, inhale. Pull heart forward. Exhale, round the heart space. Once more in. Tuck the toes. Press back downward, facing dog. Begin to pedal out the feet. So bending one knee, letting the other heel be heavy, and then switching sides. So the heels don't have to come all the way to the ground, but they are going in that direction. Let's inhale the right leg up. Bend the knee, open the hip. Take a couple hip circles here, maybe 1, 2. And then let's square the hip. Step all the way through in between the thumbs. Plant the back knee. Inhale, arms up. So you can leave the palms facing the front of the mat. Imagine you can draw the armpits and the palms back as you pull the heart forward. Maybe the hands come to touch. and sink the hips even lower. Possibly gaze comes up. Just feeling in here, so don't go as deep as you can. We're just kind of investigating. The right hand comes to the right hip or to the floor, to a block. Left arm comes up and over. Maybe you shift the hip slightly over towards the left. Big side body stretch. Take the hand behind the head. Press the head back into the hand to peel heart open even more. Inhale, arms all the way up. Once more, draw the palms and the armpits back as you pull the chest forward. Drop the hips down, this time gazing up. Plant the hands, step back downward, facing dog. Wave forward, plank pose. Exhale, drop the knees. Inhale, peel heart forward, cow pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big inhale, the left leg lifts. Bend the knee, open the hip, exhale. About 2 hip circles here. Let it crack, snapple, and pop. Mine are for sure. Straighten, square the hips. And begin to step all the way in between the hands. Drop the back knee. Inhale, lift up. Same thing here. Palms can face forward. Draw the palms and the armpits back as you pull the heart forward. Breathing here. Maybe the hands come together. Maybe they stay apart to leave room for the neck. And then plant the left hand on the hip or on the floor. We reach over towards the right side. Opening side body. Maybe the hips move a little bit to the right. Take the hand to the back of the head. Press the head back into the hand. Open up. Next, inhale, arms come back up. Same thing, armpits, palms back. As you push heart forward, sinking hips. Inhale here. Exhale. Palms come down. Press back downward, facing dog. Inhale, wave forward, plank pose. Exhale, knees come down. Inhale, heart peels forward. Exhale, downward, facing dog. And again, inhale, let's wave forward, plank pose. Exhale, let's come all the way down. So see if you can begin to bend the elbows and let the body touch the floor at the same time. Beautiful. Untuck the toes. I'm going to press the tops of the feet down into the ground and press so hard that the kneecaps will lift. So we'll also be pressing down at the pubic bone. Pull the belly in and up. This will protect the low back, very important. And we'll take the hands behind the back like we did at the beginning of class. Peel the chest up. The hands are moving towards the feet. The gaze is at the top of the mat. Really building strength in the back body and opening the heart. Belly down, back bend here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Maybe make a little pillow with your hands. Turn your right cheek onto the ground, onto your hands. A couple rounds of breath here. Begin to lift up. Clasp the hands behind the back. Again, press down to the tops of the feet. Down with the pubic bone. Pull belly in and up. And then roll the shoulders. Peel the heart up. Hands come towards the feet. Really broad from shoulder to shoulder. Gaze is down. Remember to activate the belly. For 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Make a little pillow with your hands, this time turning left cheek down. Beautiful. And let's plant the hands underneath the shoulders, pressing up to sitting on the knees. All right, so we're going to come into a camel pose. So I'll give you a couple different options here. If you have any problems with the knees, then please bring a pillow or a folded blanket, folded towel right underneath the knees. You can tuck the toes or untuck the toes. This will give you a little bit more. If you notice, try both ways. It lands differently on your knee, so see which gives you more ease. So let's take the hands, and we'll begin with the hands kind of right on the sacrum, the thumbs right on the sacrum and the hands coming out. We'll start like this. So like we did at the beginning of the class, whenever we were doing that side, the side gate pose here, and we pressed the hips forward, came back, we'll be doing that here as well. So if you can imagine that you're up against the wall, imagine there's a wall right in front of you. You can actually do this up against the wall. We'll just push the hips forward just a little bit to make contact with that wall. We're going to lengthen up, so as if you could, the crown of the head can lengthen even taller. You're creating more space between the ribs and the hips, making contact with the wall. Begin to draw the armpits back as you pull the heart forward. So this isn't just a back bend, it's actually a heart opener, whichever way you want to look at it. You can leave the chin coming towards the chest here. And inhale, come up. So lots of things happening. Part of our body is coming back, while the other part is creating space for the rest of it to come forward. So let's try a different hand position. I want to give you a couple different options. You can bring the fingertips coming up here. This will have a little bit more external rotation if that's available to you, or you can have the fingertips coming down. Any of these will work. So see what is just going on with your shoulders and what's happening. So we'll make contact with the wall, with the hips. Draw the spine up. Begin to draw the armpits back as you bring the heart forward and lean back. Maybe one hand begins to come towards the ground. Maybe the other hand comes towards, not the ground, I'm sorry, your ankle. And if you feel like putting your head back is all right, then you may begin to release the head. Throat long. This is a very vulnerable position at an instinctual level. As you come up, begin to bring the hips to touch that imaginary wall. Bring the heart to touch the wall. The head comes up last. Sit back on the knees. So like I just mentioned, at an instinctual level, this is like a very vulnerable position when you think about predators and prey. Normally they will go for the throat or they'll go for the heart. So for us to be in this position, it actually hits a survival part in our brain, which can bring some fear. So a lot of people have some big challenges with back bending. So just keep that in mind, that it's just part of your brain and we're retraining it. So let's try that one more time, shall we? So coming up. And if you haven't tried different feet variation or hand variation, I invite you to do that. Again, you can tuck the toes, untuck the toes. And you can change the position of the hands to fingertips up, fingertips down, or coming out towards the side. So making contact, hips to the wall. I'm really lengthening, creating more space between the hips and the ribs. The shoulders, elbows, armpits come back. The heart comes forward. And then I begin to lean back. The throat comes open. I'm breathing deeply here. This tells the nervous system that you're safe. So we're able to regulate that fear with deep breathing. Maybe the hands come towards the ankles. Instead of thinking about this as a back bend, really think of it as a heart opener, so wide, shoulder to shoulder. When you come up as if somebody's pulling on your heart, pulling you up from the heart, the head comes down last, and then sit back, hips to heels. Close the eyes, bring the palms down to the thighs, just like we began. So I encourage you not to do like a child's pose or a forward fold here. Just kind of allow yourself to regulate in a seated position. Beautiful. A couple more rounds of breath here, and feel the effects of creating that space. And let's plant the hands, cross the ankles, and we'll sit back. We'll go ahead and take a forward fold here. We'll just take a few moments before we come and do the counter pose. So lifting up, finding length. Exhale, forward fold. You can have the knees bent. Inhale, halfway lift. Pull the heart closer towards the feet, and then refold. One more inhale. Exhale. Slowly coming up. Scoot forward if you need to, and we'll lay all the way back down on our back. Soles of the feet on the ground. We'll start working in bridge pose a little bit here. So you don't have to touch your fingers, but you're pretty close. And if you're quite tight in the hips, then you can turn the toes out a little bit. That'll give you more space. You can also separate the feet a little bit wider. So kind of explore there. So we'll begin just with the rolling bridge. So we'll begin to stand into the feet, press the low back onto the ground, pressing down into the feet. The hips begin to lift up. So we just continue to stand into the feet until we're on the feet and the shoulders. Same things here. Draw the armpits, the shoulders down as you pull the heart up. And then begin to come all the way down. So like rolling the spine down, snaking it down. Then allowing the sacrum to touch the low back comes up. So we'll move through this a couple more times. We'll inhale, low back down onto the ground. That begins to lift the hips. And then we stand into the feet, lift up until we're up onto the shoulders, pressing down with the arms, the armpits, lifting the heart space. Exhale, coming down. One more time. Let's come up, inhale. And let's stay here. So now we're engaging even more with the feet, standing into the feet, and then also press the feet towards the top of the mat. So this is just an isometric activation that lifts the hips even higher. If you'd like to roll the shoulders underneath, you can pick up one shoulder or one side of the back and roll the shoulder under, pick up the other side of the back, roll the shoulder under, and clasp the hands like we've done a few times. Press that into the ground so the armpits are coming back as the heart is moving forward. One more inhale. Exhale, release the hands. Move the shoulders out from under and come right back down. Bring the soles of the feet together, Supta Baddha Konasana. The knees wide. Take a couple moments here and we'll come back into bridge pose. Lots of little things to think about. But just begin to feel the pose in your body and really stay close to your breath. And like I mentioned before, the really controlled and conscious inhales and exhales is telling, we're helping to regulate our nervous system, which lets us go deeper into the pose, deeper into the stretch, deeper into where we're wanting to go in terms of opening, creating more opening. And that works the same way if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling that shut off, that depressed, or those feelings that make us want to close down, that we actually do so physically. The same thing, that breath, that deep breathing will allow us to reset the shoulders, to tell the nervous system that we are okay, not to continue that shutting. It's quite fascinating when we begin to realize how much power we do have over our emotions. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. Let's go back into bridge pose. Press your feet down, standing down into the feet. Begin to lift the hips high, coming up onto the shoulders. You can stay right here if you would like to scoot the shoulders closer to each other. And clasp the hands. Press down through the feet. Press down through the arms. Armpits come back. Heart comes up. Hips come up. One more big inhale. And exhale, release the arms. Unroll the shoulders if you had them underneath and roll all the way down. This time let's take constructive rest. So bring the feet out wide, the knees come together. So moving into wheel pose, just do a couple rounds of wheel. And if you want to stay coming up into bridge pose, please stay there. But I'll go ahead and just kind of cue you into wheel if you would like to explore. It'll be the same setup here. Soles of the feet down into the ground. We will be moving the hands. So the hands will come. This will require quite a bit of opening in the tricep, the shoulder girdle. But we'll bring the hands down by the ears, fingers facing the body. So same way that we came in to bridge pose. Begin to press down into the feet, lift the hips up. We come up onto the shoulders. So we're at the height of where we were in bridge pose. So once we get here, we're just going to begin to press into the hands, press the ground away, and push evenly through the hands and through the feet. Begin to pull the armpits back, pull the chest forward. Breathing here. To come down, begin to bend the knees, bring the chin to the chest, bring the torso down. You can take constructive rest or Supta Baddha Konasana, so feet out, knees in, or vice versa. So let's take the right leg over the left leg, like you're sitting cross-legged in a chair. Shift the hips over to the right just a little bit. Drop the knees to the left. If this is too much of a twist, then you can unwind and just take the right leg over the left leg. Cactus the arms. If it feels spacious enough, you can gaze over towards the right. And let the right shoulder be heavy to the ground. Several rounds of breath here. Next inhale, come back to center. We'll switch sides. Same thing. So left leg over, hips come over to the left, and we drop towards the right. Switch the gaze. I hope you can hear those birds. We've heard some really interesting animals here. Really sounds I've never heard before. It's quite nice. And we come back to center. So extend the legs long if you'd like. We'll just take a moment in a resting pose here. You can leave the hands in cactus arms if you'd like, or you can move the arms down by the side. And just take a moment. I just want you to visualize and, yeah, imagine what it would feel like to move through the world, being able to drop the insecurity, being able to drop the fear, and live in a courageous and vulnerable way. That is the goal. It is simple, not easy, but it's something that I think that we should work towards a little bit every day. So I really hope that this practice allows you to, yeah, find a little space in that beautiful heart space of yours and encourage it to open little by little. Let's take one more big round of breath here. Exhale it out, open mouth. Let's roll over to the left side and push ourselves up into seated position. Cross the legs. Bring hands together, the thumbs at the third eye. We bow forward, seal our practice, and say namaste. So much love to that beautiful heart of yours. Thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your practice today in Hampi, India. If you want to work a little bit more on this heart opening and backbending series, then I'll be doing an hour-long flow that you can find on my website, or also I'm starting up a subscription service, Cold Chance Yoga on VHX, so you can get all the hour-long flows. Also, all of the Om Yoga Tribe videos you can download for offline viewing. So check that out as well. You can find it on my website, and also events and retreats that are coming up, so you can explore the world with me, and also we can explore your practice together. So with lots of love from us at Om Yoga Tribe, I will see you next time somewhere in the world. Namaste.